Hello and welcome back to another BeeHive tutorial. Today we'll be going over some of the key words we use in BeeHive, and also we'll try and explain some of the details and nuances that exist in BeeHive. First of all, let's talk about the idea of syncing a scene. You can see in BeeHive I have two different tabs, synced and unsynced. If I right click on an unsynced scene, I will have the ability to synchronize it to the database. Now, it doesn't matter if you're a client or a server, or in fact, in this case, I'm neither. I'm connected to nothing. I am still able to synchronize a scene to the database. Because as we said in the previous tutorial, all we are really doing is we are pushing into the BeeHive project folder and telling it needs to track this particular scene. The same is true for Maya. I can be a client, a server, or neither, and I can still sync a scene into the BeeHive database in the same manner. In order to check what scenes are synced and what scenes are not synced in Unreal, you will switch between the two tabs and take note of the map level name in the bottom. You'll see I have two maps that are found within my project folder. One of them is synced and the other one is still yet to be synced. In Maya, you see here I'm connected as a client. There's one scene which is locally synced and I can join. And here you can see that I have the option to sync my current scene, although it is currently empty. Upon joining a session, you will then be prompted whether or not you want to leave, as well as what users are currently in here. BeeHive makes the process of becoming a client or a server very simple. As a client, you must enter either the local IP of the computer you want to connect to, or the external IP of the computer if they're on a different network. You'll then specify the port which is given to you and deemed by the server. As a server, it's even simpler. Deem the port for all other clients to connect to. In Maya, the process is exactly the same. You will enter in the IP address of your server, as well as the port which was deemed by that server. And if you wanted to become a server, you could as well use a port here of your liking. So now that you understand what syncing and clients and server is inside of the BeeHive ecosystem, why don't we try and join and start a server from start to finish on Unreal. So I have my scene over here on the right, and I've chosen the port 17124. I'm going to go ahead and give myself a name, and I'm going to go ahead and hit Start Server. You can see that we now post the IP which BeeHive is posting your data to. Now, I haven't actually pushed any data, as you know, so here in the Unsynced tab, I'm going to synchronize Roam to the database. Now that that's finished, we can come over to our client and call ourselves the correct name, input the correct port, and try and connect to the server. Wonderful. Now, as this happens, you'll notice that I don't have any synced or unsynced folders or maps. This is because the data is currently being transferred, and here's the data coming in now. BeeHive will populate the content folder, and you can navigate from here as you would normally into your scene. Now as I move around, you can see the other user can see me, and I can see him. Now that we've gone through the Unreal process, let's see how we would do that in Maya. First, I would name myself the Maya server, choose a port, and click Start Server. Now you can see my IP and port are listed for where the server is posted, and I can sync the current scene into the database. Over here, I can use localhost and port 20,000 and connect to the server. You'll see my scene is populated, and I can use the Join button here in the UI. And after the scene is done syncing, just like in Unreal, I can once again move around, and you can see this updates for the server and client. Thanks again for joining us on this tutorial. We'll see you next time.